All right, welcome to the SquidManager 1.0 Release video here. This tool allows you to edit your banks for the Squid Sample from ALM Busy Circuits eurorack module. And you can either load them off of the USB drive itself that you put into the Squid Sample or anywhere else on your drive, and then copy those to the USB for usage in the Squid Sample itself. So up here we've got the current folder that you're looking at to look at banks, and that folder has folders named bank 1, 2, 3, etc. Those will be loaded up in the second pane over here. So this first pane is a file navigator. You can change directories like this, so on and so forth. You can open directly a new folder elsewhere that you want to look at. You can create a new folder. This will show, yeah, that'll do that. This will show all of your banks in that current folder. As you can see, it lists even the banks that you haven't created yet. If you don't want to have that noise, you can turn off show all, and it will just show you the ones that you've created. And then the next pane over here is the editor pane itself. There's 8 channels across the top here. You can select each of those to look at them. We've got the name of the preset, or the name of the bank up here. We've got the parameters for that bank there. We've got a QSet editor here, and we've got the CV assigned sections down here. We'll work our way up. There's a lot of tooltips help you remember what things do, and some of them actually say how to do things on the module. Eventually I'll get them all updated with those details as well. On the module there's 3 of these CV assigns. By the way, we'll work from the bottom up here. 3 of these CV assigned sections, and if you have the expander, that gives you 4 or 5 more, I think. And you can change those by these arrows here on the side. We can look at 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep, so that'll show those. Obviously you can just change these settings by, let's say I want to turn on, for channel 1, I want to receive the CV1 to control my level. I can turn that on, and I can adjust the attenuation and the offset here. For channel 2, let's say I want to adjust the attack here as well. I can do the offset and attenuation there as well. Frequency and resonance are turned off because we don't currently have a filter set up. If we go ahead and turn that filter on, those will be enabled. And for channels 6, 7, and 8, there is no speed control, so that one's disabled. So that's that. QSets are created and selected using the tabs up here. We can add a new QSet. Now we've added QSet 2, so we've got QSet 1 and QSet 2. We can adjust the start of that QSet and the end of that QSet. The loop parameter is separate and will move if you shove it over here with the start parameter and shove it this way with the end parameter. But you can set up how you want to have your loop done here. And so now we have QSet 1 and QSet 2. If you want to delete a QSet, you can do so by clicking the minus button here. Let's just add another one. And when you add a new QSet, it copies the values of the previous one. And so let's go ahead and get rid of that one here. Now we have 2 again. And now we'll move up to the top section here. This is the name of the sample file that you currently have selected. You can either click it to look around and grab a file, or you can drag and drop onto this section here. I meant to set that up. Let me quickly grab some samples here. I am such a professional. You're welcome. Let's see, that goes over here, and I'll make this. And so yeah, so if I drag a file here onto here, it will assign that sample there. If I assign, same thing if I drop it on here, it will assign the sample from here too. If I drag more than one file onto the Q sections, it will concatenate all those samples into one sample and set up a Q set for each of those. And so that's very useful in doing that type of operation. These are all the parameters that you can edit from the front panel. And we've got our text type fields that you can type into. If you hold the control key and drag your mouse up or down, it will act as a slider. We've got some combo boxes here, little lists of things that you can select from. Same thing works. This is only 2, so the control drag doesn't do a whole lot for you. Filter, we can control drag through the options of the filter, like so. Buttons, turn things on and off, and other lists here, etc., etc. Next to the sample name up here, of course, we get the length of sample in this, the length of the sample in seconds and the length in samples. And that's the basics here. We've also got some limited playback that we can do. And if you need to configure that, you can bring up the settings window here. Allow you to select the type of audio device, what output it goes to, sample rate, etc. And let's go ahead and put that onto our speakers so that we can hear the sample when we play it. Go back for the full sample here. There we go, playing that sample. This is a micro view of the sample. This is the right side here is the beginning of the sample, and the left side is the end of the sample. We can see those don't line up, and that might cause us a click. And so we can go ahead and move them however we want. Let's go ahead and adjust the end sample here. See if we can't get that close to where we want, and adjust the loop in this direction here until we get a nice line up there. In a subsequent version, I will add a jump to zero crossing and a auto match features here so that we can make this more automatic. That is most of that. So then also for each of the edit fields, we have a pop-up menu. If you use your right mouse button here, we can, if we change a value here, and we want to set it to what the default value would be if we were to have created this without any editing, we can just do the default one there. If we edited it and we want to reset it to what it was when we first loaded it, we can use the revert. In this case, those happen to be the same values. And cloning. Cloning is a single step copy and paste. So we can take a value from any of these parameters and we can clone it into that parameter on another channel, or we can clone it into all of the channels for that parameter. That appears for all of these parameters up here. And we have another level of that here for the whole channel. We can do a revert and a default for our whole channel. We can clear all the Q sets. We can rename the sample. We can swap a channel with another channel. And we can do a clone feature up here as well. So this clone has 3 types of clones. We can clone the main settings, so that's everything but the sample, or maybe that's just all the parameters. It's been a while, and that's that. Or the entire channel, so that will be the sample and I believe all the other settings. I think main settings are all the other settings too, but don't quote me on that. And then lastly, CVs assigns. We can clone CV assigned sections. So we can choose to clone from CV1 to another CV on our channel. So if we wanted to go to clone our CV1, which we currently have the level turned on, and we want to clone that to CV2, now we can come over here and we can see that we've got a copy of that here as well. Or we can choose to clone our CV to another channel's CV. So we can choose to go to channel 2, and I want to clone that to CV1 on channel 2. So now if I come over and look here, we can see that we've got that turned on as well. That covers all those options, and then we have a top level default and revert option here as well. We can set everything to defaults, or we can revert back to the unsaved stuff. Once you've done an edit, the save button will appear, and you can click that to save your changes. If you go to exit without saving, you'll get a pop-up here telling you, hey, you're going to lose these changes. Is that what you want to do? If you say continue, you'll go ahead and lose those changes. Otherwise, you can click cancel. You can do save, and then you can go ahead and do the move to another bank, move to another folder, and you will have all your settings saved. So I played once for the loop here, or the sample that we had set up. We can also do a looped version of it, and so that's available as well. I think that's it. That's the high-level video. Hopefully we'll have a more detailed usage video coming out too. And I hope this tool helps you be more productive and more creative with the Squid Sample.